Hey guys, so you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Angie from Hair World by Angie, and today I'm just trying to create a 5x5 closure pattern. So I already started to actually cut out the lace. So far so good. I created this pattern a while ago. I drew this pattern. It's not perfect, but it'll do the trick. And now what I'm just doing is I pinned, this is HD lace, 20 denier HD lace. So I already pinned the top of the lace down, and I use this ruler that has wood. Oh, this is more like cork. This is the material used for cork. So I'm using it to just hold the lace in place. The lace in place. You see that? Yeah. So I'm using it to hold the lace in place while I trace. Ooh, girl, listen. Did you hear that rhyme? I'm holding the lace in place while I trace. So this is HD lace. Okay? And it just blends in. With a little bit of hairspray, it blends right in. All right, I hope you guys saw that clearly.
Alright, so now I'm just cutting. Just very gently. My pattern, I gave my pattern allowance already. So even if I cut like really close to the lines, so I'm cutting it according to the outer lines. I'm also leaving a bit of allowance because
Oh, cool. Okay, so this is enough for another one. So this is sort of brown HD, and this is the pattern that we have created. Let me see. This is the pattern that we have created. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a ribbon, and I want to use a brown ribbon because the hair color that I'll be using is black, right? So I have my ribbon here. Okay, and I have my not safety pins, my pins, my regular pins. But I think I should pin this in the middle so it doesn't move. So I made several copies of this sheet. So I drew it and I just photocopied it. So I have a few copies of this, so I can keep creating the pattern. Okay, I think, wait a minute, I feel like it moved a little bit. Okay, let me do this. Let me do that. Okay. And let me do this. Actually, it'd be better if I do it on the inside, right? It'd be better if I do it on the inside so that I can put the ribbon where it's supposed to be. This is where the ribbon sits. So I'm measuring from here. That's the very beginning of the lace. Okay, and this is 5. This is a 5x5 closure. So my 5 starts, let's do that. My 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where my 5 stops, and this is the part where you cut the lace. So my 5 stops right here, and this is the part where you cut the lace. Now I don't want to put a ribbon where you're going to cut the lace, so I'm going to start from right here. Okay, I'm going to start from right there, and very delicately I'm going to start to pin. I'm going to start to pin. Girl. Okay, so like I said, I haven't done this before. This is the first time we're trying out this tactic to see if it actually is gonna work in helping me create my closure. I've tried so many different ways. I actually know a very easy method, which is, so I will put this board underneath and I will just trace this out, and just put my lace. And put my lace inside, in between this and this, and this, in between, underneath here, it goes under this one and then comes out here, and I just fold it, put the ribbon in and pin and sew. That's it. It was a fantastic form, honestly, but my fear is wasting the lace. I don't want to waste this lace because this lace is very expensive. Oh, it's very expensive. Oh, so I had to cut one of my legs to get it. Literally. Show you off. I don't know how they do this thing. How do they even turn this thing? They make it curved. How do they even do that? Okay, let's try. Where there's a wheel, there's a way. We'll figure it out. Okay, so now it's supposed to curve right here. So I'm gonna pin the curve down. The part where it curves, I'm gonna pin it down. I'm gonna pin another curve movement down. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna hold that, and then I'm gonna go curve again. Actually, I want to cut off the excess paper just so I can. God, please let nobody call me while I'm creating this video, please, because this is real. Oh, so I guess you have to make, oh, I think I've made a mistake. Y'all. Well, in the cutting, I would say. In the cutting, I think you have to leave, even my form. You have to leave double the space. You have to leave double the space, because if I decide to sew this down, this is what it will look like. This was supposed to cover. This is why allowance is always fantastic. This is why allowance, like, you should leave more on the side, a lot more, because I'm trying to mice the lace and I keep making mistakes. Ooh, did y'all hear that? I'm trying to mice but we'll still make it work either way. Ooh. Highest, we'll just reduce it from a 5x5. We'll have to reduce it from a 5x5, unfortunately, but we'll trace it along the lines. I think that's the best thing I can do, because to be honest, if we don't make it as sturdy as possible, it will unravel even faster than we think. So instead of doing it outside, yeah, it's gonna take out a couple inches, but we'll just put it in here. That way when it covers properly the way it should. So I'm gonna start by pinning this one here. Show you all to the world. Okay. And all right. So we've gotten that. We're gonna pin. So now this is no longer a 5 by 5. It's just, well, I would say it is. It's just minus a few inches. Let me show you all to the world. Okay. Let me show you all, yeah, to the world. I think what I'm doing is I'm searching for perfection, but it can't be perfect around the curve. Very carefully. Okay, and I also need to watch the lace so it doesn't move. It don't move. You see this hair? You see this lace? It don't move. Let me show you all to the world. Let me show you all. Okay, I need more pins. All right, so comfort. Okay, so now you're gonna start turning. Okay. Oh, Abasimbok. All right, I'm just wanted to check and see if y'all are seeing what I'm doing. You see this lace? It don't move. Okay, and we're almost there. Actually, we can actually cut it from here. Let's just see. So we can cut it from here. Cut it, cut it, A, cut it, O, cut it, A, cut it, O. Your price is way too high. You need to cut it. Hell no. Hell no. We need a place to live, y'all. We need a home, y'all. A home of our own, y'all. We need to be able to go on vacation, y'all. Pay for daycare, y'all. So we ain't cutting nothing. We ain't cutting nothing. Or else we be eating freaking McDonald's, feeding our children McDonald's, you know, for Christmas. And we don't want that. We don't want that. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. All right. Okay. Actually, I'm going to redo this one because I feel like it needs to start from the top. Because we started from the bottom, now we here. Come on. You know what? I'm so proud of myself. You know why I'm so proud of myself? For not stabbing myself. Because usually by now, I should have stabbed myself a couple times. So, here it is. Now, let's take this pin off. These ones owns the sides. We want to take them off, right? And we're gonna do that, right? This is where the sewing begins. It's gonna be tricky sewing these parts. It's gonna be tricky. That's why it's better to leave a lot more lace on the sides because it creates gathers. But this is it. This is the pattern. This is the bottom line. You know. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine and see if I can sew this close shot. And I'm gonna sew it on the paper. I don't want to risk sewing on just this lace. I'm gonna sew on the paper, but let's think about this. If I sew on the paper, how hard is it going to be for me to take it off? Well, if I sew on the paper, I can just use a scissors and cut it as close to the edge as I can. So let me go sew this. Okay. This girl is on fire, fire, fire. This girl is on fire. Okay, so now I'm just gonna drop it like it's hot. Wait a minute. Drop it. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and forth a few times just to hold on. I was stupid, I was foolish, I was not to myself. Okay. There you go. I adjusted it, but I think I might have a difficult time trying to sew the sides. I'm gonna take that stitch back. Why does it feel, why does the strength of the stitch feel very loose? Let's take it to 2. Okay. 'Cause baby, when you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Okay. Come back, baby, please, 'cause we belong together. Who is going? When there ain't nobody. We belong together, baby. Okay, so the corners is the most tricky part. Cool. You know who the fuck I am? Oh. Okay, so now I'm gonna pause and go do the other side, because I want to see what I'm doing. Because now I'm doing the inside, I gotta do the outside. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I gotta do the outside, and you gotta be very delicate, because you could easily cut the lace. We don't want that. We don't want to do that. The only person that we want cutting the lace is a customer that's paid. We don't want to do that. Okie dokes. We got it pinned. I'm going to go twice because I can. Okay, we got to be careful here. We got to be careful now, honey. We belong together. Ooh, chick. Okay. I keep dodging these pins. Okay, something wrong. Okay, cool. Just checking. Okay, now we gotta get into the corners, which means we need gathers. The corner has to be gathers. Wait a minute, something wrong. Wait a minute, something wrong. Okay, we got it. And we are D-O-N, not yet. No, we are not yet done. Nope, not yet. But at least we're halfway done. Now we're just gonna have to sew the other side. We're just gonna have to sew the other side. That's all. So we've sewn the inside, we're gonna sew the outside now. Just to make it complete. Actually, yo, I just realized. How am I going to... Okay, so I'm worrying about nothing. Because it's pretty easy to take the pins out in between the lace. So you have to be careful too. The lace is so delicate. Okay. One more thing. Okay. Okay, so we're back. So we sewed it on both sides, as you can see, and the paper pretty much falls off on its own, falls apart on its own. Let me show you off to the world. Okay, there's still a few pins left, so it's pretty easy to pull out the pins, but you gotta be careful too not to damage the lace, because it just goes right through the lace. Okay, so it's delicate. So I'm not even pulling the lace. I'm cutting the paper. So I'm just trying to be as delicate as I can. Okay, so this seems a bit messy, but I feel like people take such a long time to create closures. I can actually use a tweezer, a pair of tweezers, to remove these things. I wish I went again on this side. I don't know why I stopped. But this is the first time I'm using this pattern. I've been experimenting, and this pattern, it's a 5x5. We did it. We actually did it. It's a 5x5. It's even more. Okay, well, it's a 5x5. Inside, I'm measuring the inside now, and it's perfectly a 5x5. Let's measure the length. Okay, so there's a 1-inch space. Okay, so this is our first one. I don't know, I think the thread is not tight enough. Why isn't the thread tight? I think that's why people hand stitch, because the thread, it seems like it's not tight enough. How can I make tight stitches? You know, so they ventilate the stitches so it can be tight enough. Well, the front seems like the stitches aren't tight enough, but the back seems okay. This is the back. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the back. The stitches seem okay. So maybe next time I would do the back instead. I will sew from the front instead of the back. But it's pretty cool, y'all. We have our first HD lace closure form, and we would only get better and better and better. Even if we end up hand stitching, it's still going to be an amazing form. So, and also before I end this video, I was able to achieve this by using a 5x5 French lace form. That was the way I was able to draw this. This isn't freehand. Well, for the most part, it isn't freehand. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.